All right, hello and welcome to another Nordic Takedown podcast YouTube video. This one might be a little bit longer. It's a long time coming. I promised more of these tournament videos that I could deliver last season. I promised that I would make one of the two last PQs. Uh, which I couldn't really get my head to wrap around. We did go through them on the podcast, but I didn't do the videos from the Stockholm and from the and what's it called and Oslo, because uh, there was very hectic between Stockholm and Oslo for me. I was only home one day, and after Oslo, it was kind of hectic because I was going to move, basically. So that is why. And then I was thinking about to do it early this week, but I got food poisoned, and now it's basically GLT meta, and like I don't even know if people care about this video, but I'm just going to make it anyway, for just for fun. So it's going to be my tournament seasons set 3, basically a breakthrough of all the tournaments a little bit, and it's how did I do? Did Am I happy about it? How did I do? Like, which decks did I play the most? You can see here. And do I think these leaders or decks are going to be relevant in the JLT as well? So let's just get into it. So you can see here a breakdown takedown. Anakin, Sabine, and Han Solo was my main leaders. I was all heroic, basically. A little bit of blue, a little bit of double yellow, and a little bit of green. Tried most of it. Some aggro, some I would call Han Solo a bit of a control, very flexible, controller deck, and then of course the mid range kind of control Anakin Skywalker that I played in the beginning before we revamped it to be more mid range. So basically, here is my results. This is all the tournaments I went to this what would you call it? This season. This is season 3. So we started with the Take the Initiative season 8. Apparently I wrote them, not that's weird. But I won the season 8 top cut with Sabine. Then I played the Cantina Brawl in Skövde, 44 players, second place. Växjö local tournament, 20 player, I won it. Copenhagen PQ, 50 players, 12th place. Then there was these 3 store showdowns with a second place win and a fourth. And four showdowns, and the last showdown was a win as well. And then the double PQ wins there with 64 players and 35. So I'm going to start a little bit with what happened here at the PQs, because it was not going that well, to be honest, up until then. That's basically the 2 tournaments that really turned the season around in a way, because there was a bit of a miscalculation, missing the top cut in Copenhagen. So I ended up bringing Han Yellow to both of those tournaments, and managed to find a good counter to Django. Django Tarkentown was, in my opinion, the best deck in the end of the meta to beat Han Yellow with, at least. I think it might have been the most flexible deck to play as well, especially if you're not super practiced with Han Yellow. But I found the Chewbacca unit from Spark of Rebellion that actually really countered the go wide strategy that the Swoop Racers version of Django Tarkentown did, which was the big counter to Han Yellow, because I think the more popular one in America with not that many 1-drops was not that big of an issue. It was still really tough, but with all those small units going wide, it was almost unwinnable for a while. But adding those Chewbaccas in really swung the matchups, because he just managed to kill so many of those units, and and tanked so much damage, so it was easier to actually, what would you say, get over the line. So after I added in the Chewbacca, I played Django twice in Stockholm, won both, and once in Oslo, won that as well. Was small differences between the sideboards in those tournaments, but otherwise was pretty much the same. In Stockholm, I went completely undefeated. And in Oslo, I started round 1 with a loss, actually, to the one winning Swiss. And then I ended up second, I think, in Swiss after winning 5 straight after that. And then went in to the top 8, beating first Django Tarkentown. Then after that, it was Bosk Green. And then ended up with the OB Blue deck that we made a deck tech video about here on the channel before, because it was you could all follow him on stream making his roads to the final, basically. So yeah, that's basically what it was. In Stockholm, I played a Han Yellow Mirror, and then an Anakin Blue, and then ended up beating Django Tarkentown in the final. That was basically the runs there. So that was what happened. I found a solution to Django, and that made me go get these 2 wins, basically. So first needed to evaluate this a bit, but Sabine. I played tournaments, really 2 tournaments only with her. I won my store showdown with her 4-0, and I won the TTI League. Sabine was pretty good in the meta. She didn't love the Han or Django, but in smaller tournaments, when you can avoid them, I think she really dominates. Also early in the season, Django wasn't as prevalent, which made her even better. So I think it was the right call to play her then. And in the store showdown, I wanted to to get something else about Han or Anakin to play with, and just it was nice to see that she could bring the win. So very satisfied with the times I played her, for sure. Anakin, however, 3 tournaments played with him. Second place in Cantina Brawl, 44 players, won the 20 player in Växjö, and then with the revamped version, I got 4th in a 16 player store showdown. Lost 1 game, it was to Sabine, which was basically the one that was the only loss I had in the Cantina Brawl as well, was Sabine. I think we never really found a perfect answer to Sabine. The regional governors made it better, but you can still get blown out completely by Sabine, which I got in that last store showdown. So overall, I'm satisfied with the results of Anakin. I would really have liked to won that Cantina Brawl to be mega happy about it, but it was really fun to play him. And he didn't turn out to be that broken as I'd hoped, but that's just how it is in Star Wars Unlimited with 6 drop leaders. Then this is my main man. Played 5 tournaments with him. Got 12th in the PQ in Copenhagen. It was the first tournament with him. I only played a few weeks. Should definitely made the top cut. Maybe I should have actually won the whole tournament. I misplayed in round 2, getting to a loss there, which put me in a bad position when I drew in round 4, where I gave the win, because why draw? Now we will have draws, so if I had drawn that game instead, maybe I would have been in that tournament. Hard to tell, but so that was the start. Then second place in the store showdown, lost to Django, and then one store showdown in Skövde, was a smaller one. I drew I guess a Palpatine yellow there. Otherwise it was I was clean. We had a top cut. That's why I managed to win with a draw in my schedule. And then it was the 2 PQ wins that I just discussed. So turns out to be a really good swap to go from Anakin and Sabine to Han yellow, because Han was the one I played in the later stages. Started basically after Christmas to play. And then some last thoughts on the sets. Am I satisfied with how like it turned out? Of course, very satisfied of winning those 2 PQs. It was the 2 of the 3 biggest tournaments. Because I'm gonna say they were bigger than the Cantina Brawl because they were FFG sanctions, and there was a little bit more pricing because of with these promo cards and stuff. So 2 of the 3, because that I won 2 of 3 PQs, which is really nice, and now I've won 50% of the PQs I played, which is pretty nice. Also was really fun to win the Take the Initiative online league in the beginning. Play that for multiple seasons, so nice to get a win there. So very satisfied. I was really satisfied with the meta for the most part as well, even though it was very hard to read sometimes. And these 3 leaders, will they work in JLT? Probably yes. Nothing happened to Han, except other decks getting stronger, and Han didn't really get that much of buffs. So he will not be as good, I would say, as in last set. I think a lot of decks have good answers to Han, but he will still be really, really strong. Sabine will also still be strong. I think you will have to try to build her deck a little bit different, maybe a little bit more mid-rangey now because of all the space decks. And you maybe try to add Chewbacca's instead of Wrecker Pose in some of the slots, because there might not be as easy to just ECL something on the ground. Maybe you get rid of Darksaber, but the upgrade hate isn't that insane so far, in my opinion. So maybe you can keep Darksabers and just pray in some matchups. Maybe you just sideboard them as well. But I don't think she will be as good as last set. I think she will drop as well a little bit. Like Han might be in the top, but it might not be number 1 anymore. Sabine was, in my opinion, number 3 last set, and she might she will go a few steps down. Meanwhile, Han will also do a few steps down, probably at least 1, because I think Django will be the number 1. And then we have Anakin, of course. I think in Anakin's case, you will need to really rework him a bit. I think you will have to try to play Colossus, 35 HP base, play more 2-drops. You add Shamsin Dullah or something like that in the sideboard to deal with the ramp matches, and like go from there. I don't know how strong that will be. I think it's still going to be a competitive deck, but Anakin Blue was already not really in the top. Made many top 8s, but very hard to go through from the top 8s usually. So he will also drop a little bit, probably, unless the Colossus is such a buff because of the 35 HP and you can swing even harder. So yeah, that is... Oh, here comes the yawn. So that is basically my take there on those leaders and what they can accomplish here in the next set. That is releasing this week, maybe tomorrow, as I record this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following my rounds here. And I will be back, of course, with more tournament report videos, especially after Malmö, the 29th, which also will be played at the same time as Milan. So there will be a lot to talk about after that. So, all right. Thank you for watching, and may the force be with you.